Hey, brothers and sisters, I want to give you all some encouragement and just jump into perspective. Perspective's pivotal. We've all heard the saying, you can look at a glass either half full or half empty, and little cliche sayings, I guess, in that regard. What we're trying to do is just have you understand that the situation may not have changed at all, but it's just how you see it. And that's pivotal throughout life. And everything, there's always kind of two options. God even says before every man, he set life and blessings or death and curses. So they're both set before the man, and he has two options. And you can either look one way or the other way, to the left, to the right. And that's going to be pivotal in your journey and what you're going forward through and what you're pushing through and how to change where you're at and what you're going through without necessarily changing the situation. It's just about perspective. You got to get locked in on renewing your mind daily and being encouraged. And so how I want to break that down is into what you're setting your eyes on. We know to set our eyes on things above in the eternal realm and things that are praiseworthy and pleasing. But I also want to jump into things to not do. To not get consumed by social media, by that which is fake, that is that which is distorted and wicked and false and quote unquote like fool's gold and so on. A lot of times, I'm going to start off with the men. I'm going to jump in for the women, of course, as well. A lot of times, for instance, for a guy, you can get caught on social media and or the internet, and especially the younger brothers out there that don't know any better. You look at a man who is lying and cutting corners and cheating and or stealing, and you see all these things that he has on the outside, and it seems like he's prosperous and abundant and victorious, but really he's not. But it seems that way on the outside. And so you pull up your phone and you're maybe bored at work and you're just randomly scrolling for a brief moment, and you think it's not that much of a big deal. But then the next day, the same thing happens, and so on. And that continuous cycle, it slowly gets ingrained in your way that is the bar and the standard of what makes a man, and you need to obtain what he has, that person that is being compared to you. But lo and behold, everything that person has is going to be wiped away in an instant. It's going to be destroyed, and it's fool's gold. It's false. It's a fake. They're cheating. They're running that marathon that you're running as well. They're running it at an unsustainable pace, and they were cheating all along. Per se, in this instance, considering we're making it physical, say they were taking steroids, illegal performance-enhancing drugs, and here you are running the race at the pace that you best possibly can, but you're not taking such PEDs. And so, of course, you can't maintain the same pace that person does, but you get slowly enticed and baited into thinking that you can run that pace that he's running. Remember, this man has been cheating, whether it's in the business realm. He's been cheating by it, like per se taxes, or per se cheating in regards to stealing money from people that he had promised in regards to deals and offers and even possessions being sold, and he never came forward on it. There's a lot of different regards in this perspective, and it's really deep. It's just the simple concept of somebody being immoral, somebody being a liar, a thief, and so on. Things that are maybe on the outside, they're not easily seen, but internally in the heart, they're very easily seen. And when I say seen, I mean seen by the Most High God, the one who hates. In the Bible, God even talks about a group of people. They're busy selling coffins, and they're making profit off of selling coffins, right? And God is like, how vile and wicked you are to sell these coffins, and your fathers are the ones that killed these people that need the coffins, and you're making a profit off of selling the coffins that your father killed the men of. You're making profit off of what your father's evilness did and the wickedness they did, and you're selling to make a profit off it. There's a lot of wicked things that are done for people to make money. That's why you hear the same blood money and so on. God tells you, he says, what good is it to gain the world if you forfeit your soul? So for us brothers and us men, I know when you open up your phone and you see all these enticing advertisements and perspectives of you can get here and get rich quick schemes. It's nothing new that's happened underneath the sun. It's the same thing, brothers. They try to entice you to live fast and die young. Throw it all away and risk it all here. No. That's not a God. God talks about being slow and consistent and patient. Be still and know I'm God. Have faith. Of course you are to work. There's beyond a shadow of a doubt you are to work. Yes, you are to work, but be honorable. And what you have, share. You think these men have gotten to the point of status that they have by sharing and by giving? Or are they coveting and holding on? For the Lord talks about us sharing and giving to the homeless and loving those that are in need, and even taking the jacket off our own back to help. It's not about getting ahead in this life, brothers. That's not the way it is. You are to serve, so don't be enticed so quickly to think that you are to run at the same pace that these evil men and wicked men are running their pace. Point is don't look to the left, don't look to the right, look straight forward. Because if you look to the right, you look to the left, you see these men running. The race just started. It's a 10-mile run, and they're sprinting off the bat. If you're foolishly enticed by them, then you're going to pick up your pace. When in your spirit and in your training, you knew you weren't ready to run at that pace, nor could you really. But you were like, I guess I have to run at this pace because they're running at this pace. Don't go off of them. Don't go off of man. You go off of God. God says, we're in the world, but not of the world. So don't go off of the world's pace. It's an unsustainable pace. It's not realistic. It's not true. And when the fire comes, the testing will come, and you'll find out. And when the test results in this analogy that I'm speaking of cheating and for per se taking performance-enhancing drugs, when the testing comes, the true testing, the one that you can't cheat on, the one that you can't, bribe your way into cheat and make it look like you were clean. When the Father comes and He does and He reveals the truth, there's no getting over on Him. So be encouraged on that and understand your pace is the pace God's giving you, and know where you're at and run at your pace. Run at where God's called you to be, and understand being slow is a beautiful thing. Sometimes being slow is fast, brother. Being consistent in small, consistent steps. It doesn't have to be all glorious. Living a quiet and meek life is a beautiful thing. Don't be fooled, brother. Don't be fooled. And for my sisters, it's the same thing. You're at work and or home or whatnot, and you're doing your daily life, and the same thing happens. You pull up your phone, and moment's notice, you just scroll, and you think it's no big deal, and as a consistent period of that goes on, all you're flooded with are these women with what? Makeup, and appealing and enticing you into, show off more of your breasts, show off more of your butt, show off more of your skin, show off more of you day in and day out to get attention, because you're beautiful, you should have attention. And they entice you in these ways, and they want to slowly draw you out of the things that you should have done and you should do, and maybe you are doing. Being humble, being meek, being reserved, being modest, being gentle. But instead they say, no. Be independent. Be independent. Be independent. Be a boss. You can do all this on your own. You don't need no man. Man is wicked. It's those same enticements. They try to entice you. They're causing division. And when I say they, I mean the devil and his minions and the demons and all that are under him. That's all this is. It's just enticement to cause division and destroy God and His children. That's what the devil's been trying to do since the beginning. And so they tell you, women, to go out and flaunt and use it all. And then the women that are being reserved and that are being modest, that are being God-fearing and loving the Lord and doing honorable things, if you're fooled, you're going to look to the left and you're going to look to the right, and you're going to see all these women who are being immodest and running around, sleeping around, doing whatever they want. And you're like, this isn't right. This isn't fair in regards to all the attention being given to them, all the men pursuing them. And you're like, well, where's mine? This isn't. You have to understand they're being baited into fool's gold into death. They're getting lust, not love. You're running the race for love. So you have to be consistent on your pace, on the pace that God set before you. Don't go following the world's pace, brothers, and don't go following the world's pace, sisters. Understand it's a marathon, and only those that win and finish through will be victorious. It's a process, but your process is different than the world. You're not of the world. He tells us these things. So understand, guard your heart, and being slow sometimes is fast. God's timing is not how our timing is. As He says, to the Lord, a day is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years a day of the Lord. He's above and beyond us. Lean not to your understanding, but trust in God with all your heart. Do the honorable things, and be reserved, be patient, be still and know I'm God, He says, and patiently wait on Him. He'll do everything in time. And remember, even then, the things that you desire, if they're carnal and of this earthly realm, those are going to pass and fade away. Of course, yes, we still have our desires. But remember, most importantly, renew your mind daily and understand the end of this race is what your mind should be on, the eternal realm, the heavenly realm, the day where the corruption and the wickedness and the evil will no longer be, but yet the just will be standing, and those who are pure of heart and loving, and that which is righteous and holy and praiseworthy will remain, and all the wickedness will be cast away. So keep enduring through and be joyful and hopeful in the midst of your journey. God bless.